sports for the rec center and middle school. Together with other Denmark parents, she founded Mainers Against Common Core to campaign for higher academic standards in our schools.
Yeah, this works on you.
That was what they recorded.
That's recording, this is voice.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, everybody, and taking this afternoon out of our busy schedules. I know everybody is busy to be here today, and also thank you for taking the time to learn about this very, very important subject that seems to have hit a nerve in our community, in our state, and actually in our country. And also, I'd like to also thank people for being respectful and saving your questions till the end. Okay, so I'd like to just present a little bit of the history around Title IX and how we got where we are today. It's not a secret that for the last few centuries, women have not been afforded the same opportunities that men had in the arena of education and sports. This is why Title IX was passed back in 1972. It was a law passed by Congress to give women an equal opportunity when it came to education and in the sports. It sought to protect opportunities for girls, and in doing so, their dignity and safety. But nobody could have envisioned, fast forward 50 years, nobody could have envisioned where we are today in that this law is being used to fight to have males enter women's sports. But this is exactly what happened back in the Biden administration. The Biden administration changed Title IX to include biological males in women's sports, in the locker rooms, and in the restrooms. So during the several years after this was changed, we saw the ramifications of what happened. We had girls in sports that were injured, sometimes permanently, when they were competing against males. And we had girls that were traumatized to have, grown men in their locker rooms changing. This shouldn't be, and this is not what Title IX was intended to promote. So when this past administration, Trump was elected, and this is not a political issue by any means, I'm just sharing with you what happened with the history. So when Trump came in, he said this enough is enough, we cannot have this, we can't have girls getting hurt, and we can't have boys and girls locker rooms, this is just not right. So what he did was he returned Title IX to the original wording, and that was solely to protect girls in sports and in education. So he removed the wording that Biden had put in it that allowed the males to enter into those normally all-women arenas. Okay, where was I? So he made it clear that Title IX protected biological girls, not men thinking that they are girls. But our governor here in Maine has refused to comply with the executive order. She and her party claim that Maine's human rights law allows boys to go into girls' locker rooms and bathrooms and participate in girls' sports, and that somehow that this takes precedence over federal law, but it does not. We're going to learn why today. The Supremacy Clause specifically states that federal law preempts state law when there is a direct conflict. States may pass laws that involve civil rights as long as they do not directly contradict federal law. But by blatantly ignoring the executive order and the change in this Title IX policy, Janet Mills is putting at risk $280 million that could be awarded to our state. because the federal government is saying if you don't comply with the executive order, we will withhold federal funding. And Maine gets about $280 million a year. The Office of Civil Rights found Maine to be in violation of Title IX protection of girls in sports. Last week, U.S. Attorney Pam Bondi announced that RSU 70, hold on one second. My notes are getting all mixed up here. How many have heard about U.S. SAD 70 district? Most everybody, okay. Well, what happened in that district was that their school board voted to comply with Trump's executive order. And the sky didn't fall in on that school, and nothing bad is happening. In fact, the Attorney General has come out and said, publicly has stated that that district will receive federal funding. Although Maine is at risk of losing all of its funding, District 70 will receive money.
Wow.
Just want to touch on biology for a minute. It's not a surprise to anyone in this room that boys and girls are different. Biology is not debatable. Boys and girls are different physically and mentally. With regard to sports and keeping girls safe, physical differences matter. We know that men are typically taller and they weigh more. Males have denser, stronger bones. They have thicker tendons and ligaments, thicker skulls.
La 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 la. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. There's no debate. No debate.
That did. They have more muscle, more skeletal density, larger rib cages, more lung capacity, all of which affect athletic ability. Numerous studies show that female strength, on average, is only 40 to 60% of that of the average male. 40 to 60%. So this is why Fairness First got involved, because this difference in strength and stamina it can be detrimental to women, and it's dangerous to women if they're competing against men. It's a matter of safety. One last thing before I end. We've been told by our district leaders in the school and school boards that our school board in particular is obligated to follow state law and not Trump's executive order. But this is, we feel, misguided and not 100% accurate. Note, SAD 70 that just voted to not follow it. I think that was it. It's a little, I apologize for the sketchy, choppy introduction, but I just wrote this today and I didn't even get a chance to rehearse it, so I apologize. But the bottom line is that SAD 70 was able to follow Trump's executive order and nothing bad is happening to them, and they probably will get funding. And what you're going to learn today, and why we are all here today, and why we have guest speakers, Heidi Sampson is one of them. Heidi was a big part of why that district up in Ogden was able to vote against Janet Mills and with Trump on this issue. She went and she taught the boards and the community how it can be done and why it can be done, and that the sky will not fall in. So, thank you very much.